Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I wasn't planning on doing a video today, but something just inspired me to hop on here and share this with you. Let's talk about money. That's right, we're gonna talk about money. And the reason is because it's an important topic and it's somewhat taboo. In fact, it's very taboo. You know what I find to be interesting if I'm hovering above the conversation and just observing, which I'm doing a lot of these days, is just observing, non-judgmental, just observing the conversation, is that if I walked into a room, consider this, and I shared with a group of people, some could be friends or maybe they're just acquaintances, that I just went bankrupt, or I just lost my business, or things are really bad. Everyone would circle around and start to commiserate, because misery loves company, and it'd be all right, right? Not taboo, completely acceptable. But consider this, if I were to walk in that same room and share with that group that I just landed the biggest sale of my life, or that my net worth after working for 20 years or 2 decades has just reached a certain level, or whatever that positive, prosperous event would be, that would be considered taboo in many circles. But the interesting thing about that is not every circle, just some circles. So let's talk about money. It's such an important topic because we tend to put it in a box and call it and label it something that it's not. And for most folks, it would solve a lot of their problems. It doesn't give them happiness, but it certainly is better than the opposite. And right now, at a time when the economy is breaking down and people are without jobs, having a little bit more of that, if folks are being honest with themselves, it certainly would help some things. So let's put it in its proper order. More importantly, I want to share with you a couple concepts that might help you. These are things that I've learned that have helped me when it comes to the concept of money, and put it in its proper order. We are not slave to it. We are the master of it. And that's what I've learned. And then as long as we can keep things in its proper order, it doesn't become something that we actually focus on, but rather not at all. And so I'll share with you a couple of those concepts today, and hopefully it serves you well. Let's get started. So let's talk about money. Money, and what it is and what it's not. First and foremost, I'll share with you that money is actually energy. It's a thought. It's how we think. Money is energy. And money is transferred through vibration. And so let me share with you how this works. And this might be somewhat polarizing. I'm actually okay with that. I've come to grips with that whenever we're sharing something that might run a little bit counter to someone's belief system, that's a paradigm, and they'll automatically reject the idea. But if you're somebody this video will be for you, probably around 10 minutes, okay? So just stick with me on this if this is something that you're interested in. So it's for you if you have any interest at all in increasing the amount of money that flows into your life for the benefit that money provides. And what I mean by that is, I don't know a lot of people that are just looking to pile up cash in the corner or roll around it or put it in their bed and play with it, right? Or burn it or whatever. No, people are seeking freedom. Freedom from actually thinking about it at all. So if you're somebody that's looking for time and money freedom and prosperity in all areas of your life, from relationships to wealth to abundance to the car you drive, the home you live in, the business that you don't have and maybe want, or the business that you want but you want to actually improve that business, all areas, it touches all areas. If you're interested in that, then I'll share with you a couple concepts that might be life-changing. And my part is to leave you better off in the area of finances than what you had before you came. Now, what I'll share with you is this is not Dave Ramsey talk here. This is not financial freedom in that way. Although it will lead to financial freedom, it's not the same material. Actually, this is a new model. It's been around for thousands of years, but it's a new model in that many don't understand it, and many are not teaching it. And fortunately, I've been able to not only learn it, but apply it. And then from there, I have the grounds upon which I can share it. And I'll share with you what I've learned and what's worked for me, okay? So let's get started. Money is thought. Money is thought energy. And when we give thought to anything, When we give thought to anything, it creates a vibration in our body. So if you've been with me on any of these videos before, you've seen the image of the stick person. So I'll go back and explain it quickly so we can create a framework around the stick person. Now, when I drew this just a minute ago, I drew a really long neck. So the stick person typically doesn't have a neck like that. This is like the ET version of the stick person. So just think about this. When we think of the mind, we tend to think of the brain, but the mind is not the brain any more than it is the fingernail. So we have to understand that the mind we have two parts of the mind. We have the conscious mind, we have the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the thinking mind, and the subconscious is the feeling mind. So here's what happens with the thought process around money. So let's just stick to this topic because we can apply it to everything, but for now, let's talk about money. We've been in an interesting state now for 6 or so weeks, and many have experienced hits in this area. And if the economy changes, it's gonna be a real big, and it changes more than it has already, it's gonna be a real factor. Always has been and always will be. Our thoughts are driven off of our 5 senses. So most people will operate with what they see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. And those are our 5 senses. They're like little antennae when you think about it. So this is how we're perceiving the world. We're taking in information from what I see, what I hear, what I smell, what I taste, and what I touch. And then most people are using that as their thought process, as how they're interpreting that information through those senses, which is good. It keeps us alive. It's survival. We couldn't live without our senses, so it's not a bad thing. It's actually a very, very good thing, but we have to understand that there are higher faculties at play, and if we can tap into them, like intuition and reason and imagination, and there's more, but I'll share those 3 with you now: intuition, reason, and imagination, because they're important to the wealth creation and attraction process. But this is how most people are. And if you're not in a place where you want to be when it comes to finances, then this is why that's happening, or this is at least a big part of that, is because when you use your sight and we visualize what's going on in front of us. Let's just take the bank account balance for one example, since we're talking about money. So I observe the bank account balance. So when I see that, how does it make me feel? So this is how the mind-body relationship is. When I think a thought and I impress that upon the subconscious mind, and how do we impress something on the subconscious mind? By giving it more thought. What we focus on expands, and it expands, and it actually then creates a vibration in the body. So when we actually focus a thought and we impress it on the subconscious mind through emotions, so when I observe something that's not to my liking, and I spend a lot of time on that. You see, a belief is nothing more than a thought that we think over and over again. Let me set this down for a second. I'll repeat that, and let's just let that simmer for a moment. A belief is nothing more than a thought that we think about over and over and over again. Okay, and most of those thoughts and most of those belief systems were handed to us by other people, and they repeated them over and over again until such time that we thought it enough that it became a belief. And just because there's a group of people, a family or an organization or anything that believes something doesn't make it true, but nonetheless, it becomes a part of our programming. When we think about something over and over again, and we become emotionally involved in that, if it's something positive, that's a good thing, because here's what happens. It actually sets up a vibration in the body. You can see the arrow I drew down here to the body. Our body is a molecular mechanism, and that because of that, it's vibrating at all times. We live in an ocean of motion. Our body's vibrating at all times. If you were to take a dead body and put under the right type of camera, you'll see that those cells are vibrating. So when we emotionalize something, we impress that, we suppress that on the subconscious mind. If it's a lack or limitation, which is what we're talking about here, if lack or limitation is what we're observing, we're going to become emotionally involved with that, and that's what's going on. That's why it's called the universal poverty strategy. Lack and limitation creates a vibration in the body, which is one of lack and limitation. Eventually, that turns into disease, and fear. So actually, when you have fear as a part of the belief system, you now are impressing that upon the subconscious mind, and that turns into disease. And so that's why we cannot become emotionally involved with something that we're not wanting. We need to pivot from that. So when we take that full circle, we carry this all the way through. If I'm observing, for example, the bank account balance or the status of the company that I'm not happy with, or whatever it is, let's just call it money for a moment, the bank balance, and we become emotionally involved with that, it sets up a vibration in the body. And then when we go to take action, our actions are going to be low vibration actions based on low vibration. So that sets up this equal and opposite action reaction. When this happens, we then begin to attract to us things that are in vibrational harmony with our vibration. So we will only attract to us what we are in vibrational harmony with. We must be in vibrational harmony with the thing that we want. And so it works on the opposite side. So if we are in vibrational harmony with lack and limitation, we will attract that more of it to us, which is why it's called the universal poverty strategy. And we will also go out and take action that is not inspired action, or action it's not going to attract the people, the circumstances, and the events that we want into our lives. It's going to attract the opposite. And so what happens then is we are going to get results. I drew the arrow in the wrong spot. We're going to get results. And those results are not going to be the kind of results that make us happy or make us fulfilled or that are going to be desirous. And so when we look at those results that we don't like, we're going to start the cycle all over again. At first, we observe the bank account balance, and then now we're looking at the results of that vicious cycle, which then creates it all over again. We observe the results. How does it make us feel? It makes us feel crummy. It sets up a low vibration in our body. We go take action. We then begin to attract the people, circumstances, events to us that we do not want rather than the opposite. So naturally, we're beginning to see the benefits of not observing what's right in front of us using just the five senses, which is what I'm really at the heart of this. This is what this is about, is understanding. There's either ignorance or there's knowledge. My goal is to impart upon you just this one component of this. This is not the whole thing, but at least a part of it. And we can always talk later if you want to know more about it, but just understand that we can use, how do we do this? And how do we actually stop using just our five senses? But Kevin, it's right in front of me. I understand. This glass bottle is right in front of me. I could stare at it all day long. I'm talking about something different. We're talking about using the creative imagination. I had a conversation with some friends, 6 feet rule. And the wife was just, talking on and on. And she was basically talking about negative possibilities, things that could happen, things that they're worried about, and things that she's really worried about. And my reply was, if you're going to use your imagination to make stuff up, why don't you make up good stuff? In other words, none of that she was talking about was actually true. It was just possibilities. So if we stand here in a world of possibilities, knowing that we could have this happen as a result of COVID-19 or a result of anything else, we also could we also have this, which would be the positive side of that equation? The answer is yes. If it hasn't happened and it's not factual, then we are literally using our imagination to make stuff up. And that's what happens. So then if we do that, we are running a fear cycle. We're becoming emotionally involved with something that scares us, which then sets up a bad vibration in the body, which then begins to attract the people, circumstances, and events, which lead to more of that, and it becomes a self-fulfilling doom cycle. Stuff's not taught in schools. It should be, but it's not. So, Kevin, I got my five senses. How do I react, or how do I create then, given that I have my five senses? Well, let's consider that our animals have the same senses that we do. They're using those same senses to react. A dog sees a car, the dog gives chase. Jackie, my little puppy that we just got, she bit my face the other day because I was making an action that she thought was fun and playful, and so she bit my face. It's reactionary. We're not talking about reacting, we're talking about responding, and there's a difference between the two. So responding versus reacting. And when we respond, we're choosing to use our higher faculties, reason, imagination, intuition. And these are things that of course, I've learned through my consulting work and through my my mentor Bob Proctor. But let's talk about imagination for a second. So let's say that we don't like the bank balance, and we don't want to look at that anymore. Well, clearly it's factual, okay? So let's just put it in its proper order. It's there, but let's just put it aside for a second. Now, ask a question. What do I want? There's the question. What do I want? What do you mean, what do I want? What do you want? Do you want that bank balance, or do you want something different? I want something different. Okay, what do you want? See, this is a question that people aren't even asking themselves. They just focus on what is. And that takes no degree of skill. You see that? Abraham Lincoln, there's a quote, I'm not going to butcher it, but it's something about basically it takes no degree of faith or, faith to just observe what is, you see. It's easy to observe what is. But to ask the question, what do I really want? What do I want? Do I want prosperity and freedom? Most people would say that. They would say they want freedom. And it's not that we want money for the sake of that, because it's useless. It's just paper. It's just paper. We want freedom. In fact, we want freedom from ever having to think about it again. We want freedom to be, do, and have whatever we want. We want freedom to wake up every day and spend time with whoever we want, whenever we want, however we want. That's most people that when we're being honest and just sharing. This is what usually comes up in my thousands of conversations with friends and entrepreneurs and acquaintances around the world. So, how do we do this? Imagination. Creative imagination. If we're going to make stuff up, we may as well make up good stuff. What do you ask yourself what you want, and then become emotionally involved in that idea? Every single day. Become emotionally involved in that. And using your imagination, you begin to set up a vibration that's in harmony with the financial goal. There it is. And we can run that same cycle all the way through. Oh, how do I feel when I think about that? That goal, that financial goal. I feel pretty good. Can I become emotionally involved in that? I can when I have a why behind it. There's got to be a reason. It can't just be a big pile of cash. Why am I emotionally involved with that? What does that mean to me? You see, now we're getting down to the meaning behind it. And then it creates a certain vibration in the body. It's a high vibration. We're vibrating high because we feel good. It's all about feeling. We're not going to convey anything to the subconscious mind through words, through just random words, or just saying something doesn't do it. You can say you're abundant all you want, but you have to feel it. So if you feel it, you're emotionally involved, and there's a reason behind it, you're going to begin to impress upon your subconscious, which is every cell of the body. Subconscious is in every cell of the body. So it moves your body into action. That's the key. Now your body is taking action, inspired action. Have you ever heard someone say, hustle, work hard. It's all about grit and tenacity and hard work. Yeah, that's what's being pumped out to the public. It's all about hard work. And yes, there's an element of work, but when you have inspired action, you don't even call it work anymore. You're inspired. Your body is moving based on a vibration that has been emotional. Your body, you've impressed an idea to the subconscious, which is in every cell of the body, which puts your body into action. You're inspired. I mean, you are moving in such a high vibration. You are attracting people to you. The people, circumstances, and events that are in alignment with that goal are coming and rushing towards you and reacting. People are reacting differently to you because you're at a high vibration, and people can pick up on that. Then what? Then you have results. How do you like those results? You like them pretty good. Those results are really great. Better than they were before. And then from that point, you look at your results and you say, wow, now what? Now what? Now I can set a new goal that's probably higher than the one before. Not because I just constantly need to have that, but because I'm a new person now, because I set a goal and I've actually grown in the process. And around it goes, which is what you call the universal wealth strategy versus the universal poverty strategy. There's a book I'm reading right now. It's actually called The Abundance Book, and in it there's a 40-day prosperity plan that I'm a part of. I might create a Facebook group on that. But really, powerful concepts. Money is an effect. When you concentrate on the effect, you forget the cause. Most people focus on the cause, like focus on the money. We're not talking about that. We're actually focusing on the cause. The cause is that we have a vibration. I'm thinking about from within. It's coming from within. Hopefully this has helped you. There's an event coming up. Let me share a couple before I share with you the event. I'm actually, I'm a learner. I'm a student. When I find something that works, I just go deeper in it, and I'll go and go and go and go because I'm never going to stop learning. If it's something that can benefit my life, my family, my clients, my team, the world, then I'm going to continue to learn as much as I can about it. It's not going to be a one and done thing. So I'm a lifelong student. So whenever there's an event that comes up that's in alignment with something that I'm interested in, which is prosperity, abundance, mindset, the subconscious mind, being, doing, and having more so I can help more people. That's at the heart of it. I don't learn anything just for myself. I'm learning so I can share it. There's an event coming up this weekend. It's May 1 through 3, and it's called The Science of Getting Rich. And it's based on this book by Wallace D. Wattles. Now, it was written at the turn of the century. The Science of Getting Rich. You see, wealth creation is a science. And so this event is about how to attract wealth and prosperity to your life. And prosperity is every part of your life. Prosperity, because if we understand this, if we understand that money is a vibration, then we understand that if we know how to attract one good thing to us, then we can attract any good thing to us, whether it's a person, a thing, a house, a residence, vacation. One sidebar. If you've told yourself, if you convinced yourself that you no longer want something, it's only because you've had it not work out so many times that you've given up on your dreams. Fact, not opinion. So if you find yourself hearing these words and having it kind of have a visceral effect, and you say something like, you know what, I don't need that, I don't want it, ask yourself that. When did you stop giving up on when did you give up on your dreams? When did you give up? When did you stop dreaming? Most people, when they lay their head down on their pillow at night, they're thinking about the things that they really wish they could have. They could be, do, and have more. Travel the world. Yes, vacation, it's good for the soul. It's good to relax. It's good to get away from work and stress. So this is about understanding how money is earned and enjoyed. Money, prosperity in all areas of life. Understanding the science of being, doing, and having. So if you think about that, this is about being first. In order to do something, we must be something. This event teaches us how to do that. Have a new ignited sense of purpose. What's going on right now is that people are sad and they've lost their purpose because when the job is removed and they find themselves at home, there's a lack of purpose. You've heard about, we've all heard about that when males tend to work all their lives and after they quit their jobs after 30, 40, 50 years, they die within 10 years. It's because that was their purpose. That was the reason for getting up every day. And so this event will teach us. I say us because I'm there. I'm doing this event too. How to identify a real sense of purpose in your life beyond a job. Know how to develop and maintain the mindset necessary to achieve anything that you can dream up. Anything you can dream up. This isn't really about money. It's about anything that you want. And most importantly, you'll know what step to take next. This is the science of getting rich. I'll put a link below. I'll tell you why if you're hearing this and you're thinking to yourself you're not going to take action, I know why that is. And the reason is because it's the same reason that I was experiencing what I had my entire life until I learned this, was that I was reading books over, I would just read a book and I put it down, read a book and put it down. And then I could regurgitate all the information, but you know what? Nothing was working. Nothing was working. And everything was the same. It was status quo. I couldn't get past my limitations because I didn't know I had limitations. And the reason is because self-help doesn't work. To read a book is not the same as being something. To read something and know it logically is not the same as being something. And so I finally uncovered that. And it wasn't until that things began to change for me financially. It wasn't until then that I began I started another real estate company for real estate acquisitions, and now I'm an investor. And it wasn't until then that I was able to start these multiple streams of income, MSIs, and have multiple streams coming in, not just from one source. And all that changed about a year and a half ago. It wasn't until then. I was a reader. I was an avid reader. I could regurgitate all sorts of crap and tell you all this stuff so I could sound smart, but ultimately it didn't change anything. So this event is going to reveal how to think. It'll share with us why some people are multimillionaires and others are not. It's all mindset. It's all mindset. It's mindset and vibration. So if this resonates with you, so by the way, let me just go back to that. The reason why you wouldn't do this is because the same reason that I struggled is that you've done something before. Something has been put in front of you that said, hey, do this and get this. Do this and you'll get this, which in other words, cause effect. Oh, I can spend whatever on this and I can change my finances. It doesn't matter what it is, a radio program you heard or whatever. We've all tried it, right? How about the weight loss thing? Weight loss gimmicks. Change. This isn't change. This isn't about change. This is about a new model. So you could talk about changing something. We don't want to change something. We want a new model that works. This is the old model. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a new model. So I had to create a new model that I could work with, a platform, a blueprint, so that I can begin to put the money and finances and wealth and abundance in its proper place. And it wasn't until then that I really tapped into this and it began to work and flow. And now it's in its proper place. And now I can be more, do more, and have more, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. And I want to share this information with everybody. So what I want for me, I want for you. And I haven't arrived. In other words, I'm not standing here telling you that I've accomplished everything that I want to. I'm a student and I'm learning every single day. I'm investing most of my time with understanding this so that I can share it with others. And I'll also share with you when I stumble because I have. So if you don't do this, it's likely because of that. I've actually did an informal poll, and this is what usually came up in the answer was that, I've already spent money on something before. So understand this is not a change agent. It's a new model. And so when we have a new model, it's something you haven't seen before. And so if you haven't seen it, then, and I'm telling you that it worked for me, and it works for anybody that does put it into place. Perhaps it's worth it at this time when we're all at home and we could be doing this or that. Perhaps it's worth a shot, I think that's the thing too, is how would you feel if you took, did this 3-day live stream and you got an idea or two which launched something in your life then that allowed you to have the thing you've always wanted or create the business that you always wanted, or next thing you know, you have multiple streams of income. Maybe you always wanted to buy real estate. Who knows what? Everyone has their own thing. We're only one thought away. We're only one thought away from what? From whatever we want. I'm going to be in this event. I'm going to be in the live stream. Let's be honest, it's 3 days. It's May 1 through 3rd. I'm not going to sit in front of my computer, for 3 days. I don't have time for that. But I shouldn't say that. I do have time, but I'm not going to stare at a screen for 3 days. But it's going to be live streamed all 3 days. Bob Proctor, Sandy Gallagher, and Bob has not done this event for 5 years. And so now he's doing it because of everything that's going on. And we'll have access to it, which is pretty cool, for 30 days afterwards. It says 14 days in the thing, but it's usually extended. So in other words, 3-day live stream, if you want to watch Bob and Sandy live, I'm going to be logging in and out and in this private Facebook group. I welcome you to join me. The private Facebook group is a collaboration area where we'll be collaborating and talking and sharing, and it'll be motivational and inspirational and a chance for us to all learn and grow together. So if you want to do it, I'm going to be there. I'm always learning, and this is something that it's going to really, I'm excited to learn more and to apply more and to be more, do more, and have more. And what I want for me, I want for you. Hopefully you can make it. If you do, then I'll send you a link if you register, I'll send you a link to that private Facebook group, and it'll be probably the most awesome, amazing collaboration experience that you've ever had in your lifetime. Now, maybe that's not true. For me, it was. All the best to you. I hope this is something that can spark something in you so that you can live a life and you can have the wealth and the prosperity and the abundance and the love all flow to you now and forever. Okay, I look forward to seeing you. Hopefully you can make it, and hopefully this was helpful for you. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.